Yo guys, we are gonna get into this video here right now. So we are gonna hit up basically 5 strategies or 5 foundations that what really goes into building agility for you guys as an athlete. So again, when you wanna make some explosive cuts, change direction on a dime, whatever that may be. So these are the things that you guys need to incorporate into your training so you can make things happen in your sport, all right? Check it out. In order to make a cut, what actually happens first is you need to come to a complete stop. So this is gonna be component 1 of your guys' agility training. You need to train deceleration. So again, this is severely underrated because again, every time you're making a cut and changing direction, there's a component of deceleration going on, and that's gonna help you really stop on a dime. So we can tell if you have poor deceleration and strength skills because if you go into a cut or if you go into a jump and you do like a double hop or like a double clutch, or again, if you go into a cut and you kind of fall over and all that momentum is carrying you outside of your cut, then your foot's gonna be on the ground for a longer contact time. So again, that's gonna make you slower. And on top of that, you're not gonna be able to change direction as efficiently. So again, component number 1 is deceleration. And what we typically like to do is we'll do some deceleration drills right off the bat to like wake up our nervous system when we're training. So we'll include into our warm up. Or even our first couple sprints, we'll do an acceleration into a deceleration, come to a complete stop on a dime, okay? So that's component 1 for you guys. Train deceleration, and you can train it straight ahead and also side to side in multiple directions for you guys, okay? 2 is actually acceleration, because again, every time we come out of a cut, a break, a stop, whatever that may be, we're getting into linear straight ahead acceleration mechanics. So that's why again, you guys train acceleration all the time, because again, it's a skill that you lose like within like a week of training. So it's important to rehearse that fine skill of acceleration, because again, no matter if we're coming out of a cut laterally and we open up, or even if we do come out of a cut and it's more of a multi-directional or lateral direction, you guys are still gonna use acceleration mechanics. So again, just that knee popping up and down, that piston-like actions. So that's another huge component when you guys are training your acceleration. Make sure you guys train that in multiple directions. So what we'll typically do is we might have one day where we focus on linear acceleration, so straight ahead, straight back. And then other days we will do more of a multi-direction or agility type of change direction day. And so then on that day, we specifically will do more acceleration mechanics, so exact same piston-like action that we talked about, but again, just training it coming in and out of cuts as opposed to straight ahead. Now with all this accelerating and decelerating going on, obviously it's happening in our legs. So our third thing that we really need to develop for you guys is leg strength if you want to be an agile athlete, okay? So if you want that good change of direction. So again, hear me out. So again, you need to build that leg strength, so stick to your compound lifts, your squats, your deadlifts, front squats. So again, those will target all the different muscles of the leg. So now, obviously our sports happen in 360, so we're going all these different directions. So we know that predominantly our muscles that propel us, that make us go, accelerate, is gonna be your glutes, your hamstrings, and those are gonna really help us like when we're changing direction like laterally. So it's gonna be a little bit more hip and hamstring dominant from that side to side. But when we're sprinting straight ahead and we need to stop or slow down, so obviously that's gonna be a little bit more involved on your quads as your brakes, okay? So again, that's why you need a full leg development and strength. So again, just stick to your compound lifts, squats, front squats, deadlifts. So again, those different exercises really are responsible for developing, you know, strength in the different muscle groups. So as an example, a deadlift is gonna be a little bit more hip dominant, so you know you're getting a lot more glutes, a lot more hamstrings out of that. And then say you're doing a front squat, that's gonna be a little bit more quad dominant. So again, just make sure you are rotating and varying your exercises. And again, not just putting all your eggs in one basket of just worrying about your back squat, just worrying about your deadlift. So again, make sure you're varying your exercises and all of those numbers are going up for you guys. Fourth for us guys is going to be training agility in a reactive manner. So again, we kind of have 2 drills when it comes to training agility. We have like a closed loop drill, which is again, think of like predetermined setup cones. So again, like say you got like the boxes with the cones and you just run around them making those cuts, which is great. But then we also have reactive drills, and then we start to sprinkle these in when it gets more in season and more sport specific, if you will, because that's the stuff that you're going to be exposed to in your sport. So again, sport is just like an open dynamic, you know, movement. So you never know what's going to happen. You're always reacting. So that's what the open loop drills are. Open agility loop, or open agility loop drills, whatever, you know what I'm saying. Anyways, those ones are gonna be, you can go against a partner or react to a coach, so you can react to different stimuluses. So we kind of involve a couple different things. You can either react on like audio cues, so a clap, a signal, whatever that is. It could be visual where you're pointing left or right, or you're just mirroring and reacting to another person or opponent just like you do in your sport. So again, we can do mirror drills, you can do ones where you just do the opposite. There's tons of different ways to incorporate them, but you want to kind of get off the closed loop drills where it's just predetermined, it's a cookie cutter out pattern, which is great to learn, but you want to start to make them harder, challenge yourself, and react just like you're going to be doing in a game, because you're not going to have a predetermined pattern of knowing what's going to happen, so you just have to react. So obviously that's going to build your anticipation, and it's also naturally just going to allow you to react and again train that agility in more of that specific manner for you guys. Our fifth and final piece for you guys is training multi-directional speed, and we touched on this a little bit in the earlier points, but again, the main component of this is that we're so not fixated in just going straight ahead and straight back or left to right. So again, sport happens in 360, so again, we need to train multi-directional speed. So something that might look like that is like a multi-directional run. So if you want to think about this, think if you're a baseball and you're outfielder. So a lot of times you'll be running in a diagonal fashion, so your body will be going roughly at like a 45-degree manner, but your eye will be back towards home plate. So that's what we mean by multi-directional. So it's never going to be perfectly straight, never going to be perfectly sideways. It might be a little bit more open of an angle that you guys can train that multi-directional speed in. Or again, think of hockey, think of football. If you're a linebacker and you're dropping into pass coverage, you have to keep your eyes back, but again, you're running in a different direction. So that's what we mean by training multi-directional speed. And we simply do that just like we would when we're doing our linear speed. You want to go max effort, and again, you pick a point to stare at. So say we're doing a back angle multi-directional sprint. So we'll fixate on a point and just tell them to take off and sprint, don't worry about anything else. Again, your sprinting mechanics are the same. So again, just run hard and race and compete, and then simply that's gonna help you guys develop that multi-directional speed, okay? So again, that's just one component of it as well. So there you have it. You have 5 things that we need to hit. We need to learn how to decelerate, so we got some good brakes. We need to learn how to accelerate, step on the gas. We need to get stronger, again, through your whole ankle, knee, hip, and simply your legs. We need to learn how to do reactive drills and anticipate. And lastly, we need to develop speed in multi-directional. So again, if you guys really start incorporating these things into your training, again, you're gonna be a more agile athlete without a doubt, all right? So go ahead, if you felt this video was helpful, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and if you haven't done so yet, go grab your 4-week workout for you guys. We got that down for you if you want to be a simply more explosive, powerful, and look and feel like an athlete, all right? So Josh from Athletic Preparation, peace out.